Guys, good evening. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, the Explicit Tutorials. As you all know, my name is Dr. Joseph or Mr. Explicit, and we have here the part 3 of chapter 2 of GST 112, that is philosophy and logic. I've always told you guys that don't take my questions for granted. They are exam likely questions, and if you haven't watched other videos on other courses, please, I will advise you to do so. Or if you don't know the link, just message me on 091 60 11 53 75. I take it again, 091 60 11 53 and 75. So let's get started. I think I have question 1 to 16 if I'm not mistaken. Question 1 to 16, yeah, I'm correct. So let's get started. The true belief plus account was inconclusively reached in a conversation between dash and dash. The true belief plus account was inconclusively reached in a conversation between dash and dash. Please, the answer is Theaetetus and Socrates. The answer is C. I will not have time analyzing all the options. Just take note of the answer. Very, very important. Number 2, one of the major problem of epistemology is dash. Is it nepotism? Is it discrimination? Is it skepticism or tripartitism? Please, the answer is skepticism. Skepticism is a problem of epistemology, and of course we've established that epistemology is the study of the theory of what? Knowledge. Okay. Number 3, dash is a partial or denial of knowledge. Dash is a partial or denial of what? Knowledge. It is what? Skepticism. Skepticism is a denial or partial of what? Knowledge. Take note of that. Number 4, according to dash, to every proposition, an equal proposition is opposed. According to dash, to every proposition, an equal proposition is opposed. The answer is Sextus Empiricus. According to Sextus Empiricus, it says that to every proposition, there is an equal proposition is what? Opposed. An equal proposition is what? Opposed. That is by Sextus Empiricus. Number 5, as described by the Georgians, epistemic nihilism means dash. Epistemic nihilism means dash. Knowledge can be thwarted or terminated or sabotaged, whichever one. Knowledge is inevitable, that is unavoidable. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is not possible. So what do you think the answer is? Could it be knowledge is inevitable, or knowledge can be thwarted, or it is power, or it is not what? Possible? Please, according as described by the Georgians, epistemic nihilism means knowledge is not possible. Take note of that. Number 6, Homo mensurus is to dash. Is it Pythagoras, Protagoras, Socrates, or Thomas? Homo mensurus is to Protagoras. Please, not Pythagoras. You know, in chapter 1, Pythagoras was actually discussed to be the one that postulated the theory of what? That is transmission of what? So, transmission of what? So, is also the one that stated Pythagorean theory in mathematics. You know, philosophy started when people began to ask, what is the basic stuff of the universe? What is the basic stuff of the universe? Thales said that the basic stuff of the universe is what? Water. Now, water, you have solid, liquid, and gas, that they are the major components of the earth, okay? And there is a theory of change was postulated by Heraclitus. The theory of change was postulated by Heraclitus. The man that said that all things are permanent was Parmenides. Parmenides said that all things are permanent. Please take note of that. That is chapter 1. Number 7, an attempt to answer some epistemological questions is termed rationalism. Please take note of that. An attempt to answer some questions that are based on knowledge is termed what? Rationalism. Rationalism is an attempt to answer some epistemological what? Questions. Take note of that. Rationalism. According to Dash, the principal ground of human knowledge is the unaided human what? Reason. Please, according to the rationalists, the principal ground of human knowledge is the unaided human reason. So according to the rationalists, they say that knowledge comes from reason. They say that reason is the source of knowledge. That is in opposite to the that is empiricists. The rationalists say that knowledge comes from reason, but the empiricists say that knowledge comes from experience. So please take note of that. According to the rationalists, the principal ground of human knowledge is the unaided human reason. Please take note of that. Number 9, for the Dash, the senses are deceptive, and so knowledge from sense cannot be reliable. For the Dash, the senses are deceptive, and so knowledge from sense cannot be reliable. According to the rationalists, the senses are deceptive, and so knowledge from sense cannot be reliable. Please, the answer is what? Rationalist. Number 10, according to the Dash, reason is the foundation of sanctity and knowledge, and that human mind has the capacity to establish truth about nature of reality by reason alone. According to Dash, reason is the foundation of sanctity and knowledge, and that the human mind has the capacity to establish truth about nature of reality by reason alone. Please, according to the rationalists, reason is the foundation of sanctity and knowledge. As I initially said, according to the rationalists, they said that the source of knowledge is what? The reason. Everything boils down to reason. Please take note of that. Number 11, according to Dash, knowledge is innate and priori. According to Dash, knowledge is innate and priori. Okay, so please, the answer is according to the rationalism. Please take note of that. Number 12, which of these is not a rationalist? Plato and René Descartes, Benedict Spinoza, Gottfried Leibniz, David Hume, and John Locke. So which of them do you think wasn't a rationalist? Could it be option C, B, A, or D? Please, David Hume, and John Locke are both empiricists and not rationalists. So the answer is what? D. Number 13, according to Dash, knowledge is sense-based. According to Dash, knowledge is sense-based. According to the empiricists, knowledge is sense what? Based. Number 14, at birth, man is a tabula rasa. At birth, man is a tabula rasa. This was said by David Hume, George Berkeley, John Locke, René Descartes. The answer is John Locke. John Locke said that at birth, man is a tabula rasa. That is clean slate. Nothing is written on the mind. That is nothing. It's just plain like a plain sheet of paper. Nothing is written. At birth, man is a tabula raza, as stated by John Locke. Number 15, according to dash, knowledge comes from dash. Oh, okay. This question is not well coined. It would have been according to the empiricists. Knowledge comes from experience. Please, according to the empiricists, knowledge comes from experience. Please, according to the empiricists, knowledge comes from experience. But according to the rationalists, knowledge comes from reason. Number 16, which of these is not an empiricist? Which of these is not an empiricist? Is it David Hume, George Berkeley, John Locke, René Descartes? The answer is... Okay. What do you think the answer is? The answer, okay, David Hume is an empiricist. John Locke is an empiricist. And what do you think the answer is? René Descartes is not an empiricist. Please take note of that. It is very, very important. It is very, very important. Just as I asked us in question 12. All right, so René Descartes is a rationalist. Is what? A rationalist, and not what? Not an empiricist. John Locke, George Berkeley, and David Hume are empiricists. So the odd answer there is René Descartes. So I have notes: introspection, memory, intuition, authority, and revelation as senses of knowledge. How do you explain these terms? Now, introspection, memory, intuition, authority, and revelation are other sources of knowledge. What is introspection? Introspection is the ability to tell yourself what is happening around you. That is, you have an insight of what is happening. You have the ability to tell yourself that is the state of the body. You can say, I know I'm sad. I know something is going on the inside of me. I'm not happy. That is what? Introspection. You are aware of what is happening, and you can tell yourself the state of your body. So that is what? Introspection. That is, the next one is memory. Memory means to have a flashback of what has taken place, or to have a recall of what has taken place maybe some time ago, a few years ago. So that is memory, to have a flashback. For example, you can say, I think I once met Mr. John at a particular place. That you are trying to have a flashback. You are trying to have a rethink. You can say, oh, when I was much more younger, some pieces of meat were disappearing in the pots. Yes, I'm not saying I was stealing. Some piece of meat in the pot. It's just that sometimes my mommy, that is when she cooks, the number of meats in the pot reduces. You understand? So I was not stealing them. I don't know. I was not taking anyone. See, I'm innocent. I didn't. When I was a child, I didn't steal. No. I don't do that. It says that it's either the soup gets spoiled the next day, or some pieces of meat have disappeared. I don't know how it happened. But just take note, that is what memory. To have a flashback of what has taken place already. The next one is what? Intuition. Intuition is just like insight. The ability to predict what will happen in the nearest future. All right, the ability to predict something that has not taken place. All right, you can say, I think it's going to rain tomorrow. It will rain tomorrow. Okay, I think it's going to rain tomorrow. Or I knew the lecturer won't come to class to teach. I knew the lecturer won't come to class to teach. That is perception. All right. The next one is what? Authority. Authority is just like the knowledge that you have you tend to possess from people from different personalities. You understand? So those are the sources of knowledge. Sources of knowledge. Revelation can have different interpretations. Okay, revelation can have different interpretations. But please take note of these questions I've compiled. All right, I think the chapter 4 or the parts 4 of this chapter 2 shall be uploaded some few hours from now. Do have a wonderful day. Please, if you know you haven't subscribed, I will advise you to do so that when I upload any content, you'll be notified by YouTube. Do have a blissful night. Rest.